Hello everyone. Welcome to the course. In this video and series of upcoming videos, I'll be teaching you JavaScript and jQuery from scratch. So what is the prerequisite for this course? Prerequisite for this course is nothing but you should have the basic understanding of HTML and CSS, right? So now coming back to what is jQuery. So jQuery is a JavaScript library which is built on the top of JavaScript and this is very popular nowadays in enterprise web application where you can use this jQuery library, and by using this library you can achieve the same functionality with less piece of code as compared to JavaScript, right? In the nutshell, this is a library which will provide an interactive way to interact with the HTML elements within the web page, right? HTML elements can be anything. It could be HTML buttons or drop downs, anything, right? So without any further ado, let's get started. So I have just created a blank HTML document, and with HTML document, I have just placed this HTML table, and dynamically with the JSON object, I'll be populating dynamic row inside this HTML table, right? Okay. So I'll be adding the data in the same way. So you can see at the start there is nothing in HTML table, and we'll be adding this data from this JSON object. So what is JSON? JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. We will be learning JSON in more detail in upcoming videos, right? But to give you an overview, it is a JavaScript object notation in the sense like it is a notation of key values pair. As you can see, this is the first name which is act as key column value, again key last name column value, comma separated key value we can provide within the so this is a flower basis which is a object literals all the way from here to there, right? And this is the list which is complete JSON, right? So now go ahead to the source file. So what is the first step to use jQuery in our application? So this is the first step, right? So we will copy this URL and put this URL within our head section. So I will go at the top and will put this simple URL. What is this piece of code? This will just include jQuery, which is hosted at this endpoint, ajax.google APIs. So if you copy this URL and go to browser, so this is nothing but a jQuery library which is written. You can simply copy this and download it at your local computer, right? Okay. So now coming back to our source file, I'll be copy the JSON thing from here. This is a mock data, so I will go down, and within this script tag, I will write a function load data. What this function will do, so this and the purpose of this function to paint this HTML table with the dynamic data. So where data equal to, I will paste the data and will loop through this data for let I equal to 0, I less than data dot length, I plus plus. I will create another variable tr slash tr. So tr ended. As you can see, there are four headers, so I'll be creating four td, and within first td, so this is in the first cell. Within the first cell, I'll be adding first name. So over here, data of I dot first name, right? I will copy this td thing and will paste 4 times, 2 3 4, and this should be the last name, this would be the email and contact, and we'll add all this data within the customer table. So what is the ID? It is customers dot append tr. So this ID should be exactly same what is the ID we have just given to this table HTML, right? So this is the HTML table where we have just provided ID. The same table we have used, same ID we have used over here, and this is pretty much similar to uh, a document dot get element by ID, and here it is, sorry, customer customers. So you can see this is the shortcut which internally the JavaScript virtual machine will run, and the same statement document.getElement by ID, right? So I will remove this and we'll call this function once our page is loaded. So on document dot ready, once our page is ready, we'll be calling this function, and within this function I'll be calling this load data method or function. Control S to save the file. Yeah, so as you can see, we have just successfully loaded this HTML table, the dynamic rows from this sample JSON output, which we have just constructed at the beginning of this tutorial. So we have successfully learned so far. We have just included the JavaScript, uh, a bigger pardon, jQuery at the top within a script tag, and underneath we have just written another function, load data, and within load data we are just looping through this data and adding this data within this customer table. So if you will go and inspect over there, we will see three TR, right? Because we have just three elements, three objects within the JSON. So if you go to HTML, yeah, there you go. One, two, three. Each one belonging to this one, two, three. Thank you for watching.